welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my financial goals for 2022. Before we dive in, I did do a video recently about my annual budget, so I will link that and put it up in the cards as well if you want to check out what I'm thinking my annual budget will be. It's kind of estimated, but it was helpful, and I shared some of the things that I thought about and planned out for success in my budget in the new year. But let's go ahead and dive into it. So I've got my 13 goals started here in my planner. I've got room to add more. I do plan to do an update video on this about halfway through the year. So if you want to see how I'm doing, come back, in the summertime. Hopefully I'm a little bit tanner at that point. But yeah, let's go ahead and begin. So the first two goals I have are maxing out certain types of accounts. So the first one I want to max out is my HSA. I do qualify for an HSA through my high deductible health plan. And the contribution limit for 2022 is $3,650. I am fortunate that my employer contributes $1,000 to that, so I just have to take $2,650 out of my different checks throughout the year, but I already have that automatically set up and ready to go for the new year, so I'd like to max that out. 2021 will be the first year that I had an HSA and maxed it out, so it's very exciting for me to be able to contribute to this type of a plan. The second one I want to do is max out my Roth IRA. The 2022 contribution max is $6,000. So I would like to do that. I have never maxed out a Roth IRA yet. I have one open, but I have not achieved that max out. So I'm hoping to do that. Any extra money I have this year will kind of go to that as a priority. Another priority for me in the new year is to finish my emergency fund. I have been working on it the latter part of this year, and I'm really looking forward to kind of having that safety net in place. So that is something that I will be probably working on before maxing out my Roth IRA, actually. Even though on my list they were swapped, but that's going to be my first priority, and then the Roth IRA afterwards. Number 4 is to save 15% of my gross income towards retirement. My salary is $75,000. Hopefully I get a raise in the new year. I don't know yet. So 15% would be $11,250 for the entire year. So I am counting I do have a 401k, I have my Roth IRA, and I do count my HSA as a retirement count because I'm able to cash flow my health expenses so far and save that, because ultimately your HSA can turn into a retirement account. So that's what I'm counting towards that. But my fifth goal is also to increase my 401k contribution. So I do have a set percentage I'm at now. My company does not currently offer a match, so there's not like a minimum kind of number I'm at. But in 2021, I was working on paying off credit card debt. I'm currently working on building my emergency fund. I haven't stopped contributing to retirement, but once those things are done, I would like to increase that contribution as well. So hopefully I can get another percentage or two in there by the end of the year. My sixth financial goal is to have 15% of my total income of the year be from passive sources. So every month I share a budget video as well as a budget recap video. And in the recap, I share with you how much I actually brought in, what all my different sources of income are, and how much of the month was from passive income. So I'd love to have 15% of my total income from next year be from passive sources. I think that growing my passive income stream is invaluable, and I'm really looking forward to increasing that throughout the years. Number 7 is to make $600 from YouTube or Google AdSense. This year, I will be close to like $520, which is actually pretty good for me. I've had my YouTube channel for a number of years, but it's just been like kind of slowly growing. It's just a hobby for me. Like, I don't plan to make this into a full-time job, but it would be nice to, start setting some goals for what I want to bring home. So my goal for next year is $600. If you don't know, Google AdSense, you have to reach a $100 threshold in order to get a check. So it's not like you're paid every month no matter what. So this year I've been getting a check about quarterly, but I would love to get that maybe like every other month next year. So that's kind of where I got the $600 goal from. Number 8 is to keep my expense section of my budget. Again, check this out in my annual budget video at 65% or less. So 65% of my total money for the year going to expenses or even less than that. I really don't want to go over that 65 number. It just is a kind of a nice goal for me to set and make sure that I'm optimizing that section of my budget if I need to, and I'm being mindful. I do include my discretionary spending money, my gas, my groceries, and all my bills in expenses. So that's kind of something that I think I do have some level of control over and something that I want to focus on so that I'm not having too much lifestyle inflation come my way. Number 9 has to do with my annual savings rate. So this is something I also calculate in those budget recap videos. And I calculate 2 different savings rate. One includes my mortgage principal and one does not include my mortgage principal. So I have a goal for each of those. I'd like my savings rate to be 20% for the entire year without including the mortgage principal. And if I do include the mortgage principal, about 25%. I do think that I can do better than these goals, but this is just where I want to start off with and see where I can get. I have 2 net worth goals. So the first one is to achieve $200,000 in net worth. I'm about 150-ish right now. So I definitely think that that's something I could probably do. I mean, obviously the stock market has a big role in that, but also just me saving my money and, investing it regularly can help me. And then my stretch goal, number 11 here, is to achieve the $300,000. That would be like a pretty good year for me, but we'll just have to see what happens. I'm not counting it out, but it definitely is a little bit of a stretch goal. Number 12 is to maintain no credit card debt. That definitely is a thing that's important to me. I did just pay off all my credit card debt this year, but I previously had been credit card debt free and then went back into credit card debt. And honestly, in that period of time when I went back into credit card debt, I wasn't tracking my spending as closely as I should. So I've learned that I really do need to be on top of it. So that's just going to be kind of an ongoing goal, probably for the rest of my life. I don't think that credit cards are bad. I use a credit card every single day for all my expenses. I just pay it off every month. So I don't want to carry a balance month over month if I can help it. My last goal for 2022 is to read at least one personal finance book. I don't know which one yet. I have a little bit of a list in my phone of ones that I want to check out, ones that I've seen recommended, but I just want to kind of get a little bit more background before I make a decision on which one I might want to try to read first. But I do think it's important to keep reading and having personal finance as a part of your, year and everyday life. It's certainly something that I've learned. As long as I'm on top of my finances, I feel a lot more comfortable and stable in my life. It's when I start to ignore them that I start to feel a little bit out of control. So those are the 13 goals. I do plan to do an update halfway through, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and I can't wait to see what I can achieve in the new year. Please let me know down below what your priorities financially are or any goals that you have. I would love to hear from you. My biggest goal this year was to become debt-free, and I was able to do that. And it is such an amazing feeling. So it's also really cool to start to have goals that aren't necessarily surrounded by debt. And I'm kind of learning and opening my eyes to the other side of personal finance, I guess. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. It does mean a lot to me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.